Hey guys, we are going to continue talking now about energy pyramids. So we just finished with, food webs and food chains. So we're going to talk about energy pyramids. This is basically how energy is transferred from one feeding level to another in a food web. This is kind of gets a little tricky and confusing, and I'm not sure why, so hopefully I can clear that up for you guys. As you move up the pyramid, each level has less energy available than the one level below. So actually, producers have the most available energy possible because they're getting all their energy from the sun, and the energy is transferred from the sun to the plants through the process of photosynthesis. So what happens is the plant still needs to make its own food. So as it produces its own food and uses energy for its life processes, it's going to use energy. So only 10% of energy can be passed on because it's going to use about 90% of energy. So the other 90% of energy is used for the processes, so it doesn't leave much available. So basically what happens is as you move up the energy pyramid, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, meaning there's less organisms available at that level. If you look in your backyard, you have tons and tons of grass, tons of trees, tons of flowers. Well, it's because we need lots of producers, and our producers do a lot of things and provide a lot of energy for a lot of different organisms. And so we have we have a lot of organisms that are herbivores, but then we have several organisms that eat those herbivores. And as you get up in the food chain, because of space and other limiting factors, you have less organisms. Part of it is because of the energy. Remember we said a limiting factor is the amount of food available. So since there's a limited amount of food available to organisms, we have a limited amount of energy that can be passed down. So it limits our size of our ecosystems. So here we have, let me extend this page, excuse me. Okay, let me make this smaller. So here's an example of what I'm talking about as an energy pyramid, okay? The energy pyramid is wider at the base, okay? And as we get to the top, it gets smaller. We have less third level consumers, that's tritary consumers. So we have a lot of producers at the bottom, several more primary consumers, but not as many as we do as producers. Secondary consumers decreases in size as well, and so does the tritary consumers. Think about how many omnivores there are. Not as many as there are primary consumers, okay? The bears have to eat lots of rabbits to get full, okay? The hawks are going to have to eat lots of mice to get full. So they have to eat more of the smaller organisms, so these smaller organisms are going to have more so that they can feed these larger organisms. So it kind of balances itself out. If you think about it, most of you eat a steak, maybe some potatoes and a vegetable, and you're full. But sometimes that steak isn't filling enough, so you eat those other items. But maybe it is filling enough for you. The point is you're going to eat a lot of different nutrients to get everything that you need to be successful in your life. So, oh, this one's too big too. My apologies. This picture is actually in your book as well. Here you have the energy pyramid again. So let's say there's 1,000 calories produced by the grass, okay? The grasshoppers are only going to get 100 calories, okay? Because the grass needs energy. They get 10%. So they're going to use 90% of that, and they're going to only give off 10%. So if you look at it, one mouse or shrew here would have to eat 5 or 6 grasshoppers to get the same amount of energy as the grasshoppers get. So they'd have to eat basically the same, in order to get 100 calories, they would have to eat 10 grasshoppers, okay? Now, the shrew, okay, in order for the owl here to get 10 calories, it would have to eat 10 shrews, okay? Because they only get 1 calorie of energy from those shrews because they use 90% for their life processes. So the energy that's transferred, okay, because remember, energy is not created nor destroyed, it's always transferred. It only transfers 10% to each organism. So in order for the owl to get as much energy as the grass gives off, it would have to eat 1,000 little shrews. That's a lot, okay? So if you don't understand how this energy is transferred and changed and passed up through the pyramid, please come talk to me and see me. Let me give you one more example. Okay, so here you have like a marine life, and you have, I'm not sure what these are, maybe sea urchins or something. So you have our algae here at the bottom. You have your producers, okay? And I'm not sure what this is supposed to be depicting, to be quite honest. I'm not a marine biologist, sorry guys. They're having to eat, there's quite a few of those, okay, for the shrimp to eat, okay? And the shrimp are going to be eaten by the fish. And for the fish to get the same amount of energy as the shrimp did, they have to eat a lot more shrimp, okay? In order for this bird to be full and get the same amount of energy as the fish received from the shrimp, they're going to have to eat several fish, okay? The organisms get bigger as we go up in the chain because they're able to eat more and consume more food, but the energy they get is only 10%, okay? This energy is constantly being transferred. This is not a new theme. If you think about it, energy is constantly being transferred through organisms. So if you have any questions on how energy is transferred in a food chain, please come see me. I hope this helps. Talk to you soon.